Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Purnamhansa Paripurajapacharya Ashto Tarasata Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Miraj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam reading with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. We're beginning with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text 36.
36. Okay. And special welcome to my god brother Sankarshan Prabhu. Thank you so much for coming. We're actually traveling together right now, but he's in one room and I'm in another. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Disjagatosi Bhadram Te Gramyam Kamana Peepsase Udvahishyami Tangs Te Hum Swabandhu Bhir Arindama. O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses, and all my friends and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires. Purport. A living entity comes down into this material world for sense gratification, and his intelligence, represented by the woman, gives him the proper direction by which he can satisfy his senses to their best capacity. In actuality, however, intelligence comes from the Supersoul, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he gives full facility to the living entity who has come down to this material world. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana, bahushaka hinantascha, bahushaka hinantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. When a devotee is advancing toward spiritual realization, his only aim is the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not care for any other material or spiritual activity. King Puranjana represents the ordinary living entity, and the woman represents the ordinary living entity's intelligence. Combined, the living entity enjoys his material senses, and the intelligence supplies all paraphernalia for his enjoyment. As soon as he enters the human form, the living entity is entrapped by a family tradition, nationality, customs, etc. These are all supplied by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the living entity, under the bodily conception of life, utilizes his intelligence to his best capacity in order to satisfy his senses. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna
वो
Padam
नहीं हो रहा, एक बार चेक करो ना।
Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prashabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vancha Golpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tishtya Tisjagato si bhadram te gramyan kaman abhipsase. Udvahishyami tams teham swabandhu birlarindama. Hero, it's very fortunate that you've come. Dishtya means by the will of providence, somehow or other, you've come here. So it's, may there be all good fortune for you, Bhadram Te. And you want to enjoy sense gratification, Gramyan Kaman, and Udvahishyami. I'll supply it, along with my friends, senses, and so on. So it's very good. We're a good combination. You want to enjoy, and I'm ready to supply enjoyment. So what could be more fortunate than this? The intelligence is originally meant for helping us serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when intelligence is misdirected, it's used for planning for sense gratification. By Maya's arrangement, one becomes bound in a particular situation. Prabhupada mentions family, tradition, country, so on. All of this comes by fortune, by fate, by the arrangements of the material energy according to our past activities and desire. And so in that situation, we meet a woman, and the woman says, come on, let's enjoy, I'll supply everything that you want. Okay. Any comments or questions?
Saraswati Mataji writes, Pranams, Param Puja, Gurudev, and all the Vaishnavas. Why is Paranjana addressed here as killer of the enemy?
Prabhupada doesn't comment, Chakravarti Thakur doesn't comment, but certainly this is an address for a hero, killer of enemies. Oh, great hero, killer of enemies. Commentators might go further than that, but maybe I won't. I think I won't. But just to say that he's, of course, one could say the woman has the enemy of loneliness or of unfulfilled desires, and the hero is going to slay those enemies. But that would be a little speculative. So let's just stick to this, that it's an address to him as in terms of his being a hero. Is this self-flattery? No, it's flattery, straight out flattery. She's flattering him. You're a great hero. A woman might say, where are you from, handsome? Or something like that, so flattering. And of course, the flattery is meant for her own sense gratification. Is that all right? Anything else? Okay.
Nothing else.
Chakravarti Thakur comments, by good fortune, you have attained a human body. I will supply you enjoyment with my male and female associates. Very good that you've got this human body. Now you can use it for sense gratification. Just the opposite of Prahlad Maharaj. You've got this human body, you should use it for self-realization. But the woman says, you've got this human body. What's the use if you don't use it for refined sense enjoyment? Imam tvam aditishtasva purim navamukim vipo mayopanitan grihnana kama pogan shatan samaha. My dear Lord, I have just arranged this city of 9 gates for you, so that you can have all kinds of sense gratification. You may live here for 100 years, and everything for your sense gratification will be supplied. Purport Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Dara Samprapti Hetavaha. The wife is the cause of all kinds of success in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately salvation. When one accepts a wife, it is to be understood that he's being helped in his progressive march toward liberation. In the beginning of life, a person is trained as a brahmachari and is then allowed to marry a suitable girl and become a householder. If one is thoroughly trained in household life, he finds all facilities for human life: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Everything is there if executed according to regulative principles. So, Imam Tvam Aditishtasva, just stay here with me in this city of 9 gates. Navamukim Vibho, Vibho, oh powerful one, oh my Lord. Maya Upanitan Granana. I've arranged everything. Just take it. Just stay in this material world. Kama Bhogan Shatam Samaha. And enjoy. Prabhupada uses this term sense gratification. It's sort of a scientific term. Enjoy your desires, fulfill your desires, fulfill your needs for 100 years. This is, they have these clubs, gentlemen clubs and whatever, and you can enjoy some kind of sense gratification for some hours by paying a fee. But here, for 100 years, I'm ready to satisfy your senses. What could be better than this? 100 years of sense enjoyment. Imagine a lottery ticket, 100 years of everything you want. So that's the offer. I've arranged everything in this beautiful city, and you can enjoy here with me for 100 years. Of course, no one knows that they'll have 100 years, but that's the offer. Any comments or questions? Okay.
Yes, Sarasvati Masterji writes, I was once asked if material desires we gave are not our own desires, but pushed on us by Maya.
No, they start with us. It starts with our desire. It's Jayādvaita samutena. We want this and we despise that. But then Maya arranges, here's just what you desire, or here's frustration, you're not getting what you desire. But in any case, Maya responds to our desire. And then accordingly, we become associated with the modes of nature and entangled. Purusha prakriti stohi bhunkte prakriti jan gunam karanam gunasangasya sadasad yoni. We have a desire to enjoy a certain way, And because of that, we associate with the modes of nature, and then our desires are further developed by association with those modes. A man has a desire to enjoy, and so he searches out a woman. And then you can say that desires are pushed on him, but he was the one who started it off. He went looking for sense enjoyment. And then one thing led to another, and now his desires are increasing. We gave that example the other day. You pour petrol on a fire, the fire increases, it doesn't go out. We're trying to satisfy our senses this way, that way, and we get more and more entangled. One desire leads to another desire. What is that? Tripyanti neha, kripana bahudu kapaja. Instead of having our fulfillment expand, our dissatisfaction expands. Or yes.
Saraswati Machji writes, there goes an attractive and convenient excuse for our deplorable condition.
Yes. Another thing in this purport, dharmartha kama mokshanam dara samprapti hetava. A wife becomes the cause for success in dharmartha kama moksha. So that's more from a positive side. The human life is arranged in such a way that we're meant to perform religious activities, and then we'll get economic development and sense gratification. And after some time, one can think, what is the use of these other things? Let me get the sense gratification. It comes back. Okay.
Naveen Prabhu has a hand.
Yes.
Okay, it's Mukunda again. Krishna. I'm wondering, in sort of what Guru Maharaj, what you were just referring to the beginning of the purport, when stating that the wife is the cause of all kinds of success in these four, and just saying it generally, not that a good wife or a qualified wife is the cause of success. I could see how a wife in general is perhaps always an impetus for or an inspiration for economic development, sense gratification, and then maybe qualified or better wives for religion and ultimately salvation. But is there, outside of having a pious wife, is there some direct way that I'm meant to take that having a wife in general is meant to is an impetus for or some sort of cause for success when it comes to salvation?
The
Here.
Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The idea is that when we marry, then there's a systematic program inspired by the wife in part. We should follow some religious principles so that we can, or some sort of prescribed duties. Dharma also means prescribed duties. As grossest, you can say we should have some kind of work. Actually, dharma can be taken as one's duties in varnashram. By performing one's duties as a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, one can make some money also. Dhammartha kama mokshana. So the wife sets us up, or yes, gives us a steady situation. Even in religious rituals, they're generally performed with one's wife, the Vedic sacrifices and so on. The wife has a place in performing the rituals, even their rituals for which presence of the wife is required. So yes, a religious wife. It's hard to see how one would be successful in religion by having a irreligious wife. But in general, wife with the wife, one performs religious activities, and also with the aim, or you can say occupational duties, dharma, forgetting artha, economic development. And with the economic development with money, one gets a home and one can satisfy one's desires in every respect as far as they can be satisfied. And then the idea is that after some time, one thinks, all right, enough of this, let me get liberation. That's the general setup. Is that okay?
So from that, we would take that a wife in general, due to those first ones being facilitated by having a wife, then a wife in general would be help one attain success in salvation, because at least they go through the experience of the others. Or
Yes, and also because one becomes settled. That word is often used in relation to marriage to get, get the young people settled. Settled means without a wife, he'll just be willy-nilly after sense gratification. And that's not good. That's not good. The things become regular and what's the word, systematic, normalized when one has a wife, even for economic development. I would mention that companies like to hire married men because they know that the married man is going to be fixed. He can't just run away because he has a wife and kids to support. He has responsibilities. So he should be decent as an employee. A non-married man can come and go at his whim. So in this way, by marrying the wife, he marries a system or a network of activities, dharma, one's occupational duties, and then, of course, sense gratification, economic development and sense gratification. And all right, toward the end, let me go for liberation. If the wife is a witch also, that may help him for moksha. He just says, let me out of here. But if she's religious, then she also encourages liberation.
okay, thank you.
Kareem Prabhu writes, so how then one when enjoys by accepting wife is a progressive march to liberation? How by enjoyment one goes towards liberation, since enjoyment itself can never be satisfied?
Because it's regulated. Without the wife, he'll have unregulated sense gratification, and everything will be, what's the word, whimsical or chaotic. But when there's a wife, then there's a systematic life. And it's expected that if they follow the varnashram system, then they'll accept the vanaprastha ashram and then make further progress toward liberation. It's not automatic liberation because I'm married. Sure, I'll become liberated, but you're married, so now you have a systematic life. You're regulating or controlling your senses, and at the mature stage, you can retire from the material activities and turn more toward liberation. Okay.
We have something in the chat. Saraswati Mataji writes, one wife said her contribution is that now her husband is settled, and sorted.
Yes. That's quite to the point. Without the wife, his sense gratification is not regular. He may try this or that for sense gratification, go here and there for sense gratification, and then one's life becomes, I'm looking for a good word, but irresponsible and unpredictable, all over the place. But there's a certain routine. He's okay. And now there's normalcy. You have a wife, you're married, you have a job. You're getting your sense gratification in a standard way. And you're performing religious activities also. And in the future, or even now, you can make progress toward liberation. So yes, it's a contribution. Kam nutvad anyam ramaye hyarati gyam akovidam asamparaya bimukam ashvastana vidam pashum. How can I expect to unite with others who are neither conversant about sex nor capable of knowing how to enjoy life while living or after death? Such foolish persons are like animals because they do not know the process of sense enjoyment in this life and after death. Purport. Since there are 8,400,000 species of life, there are also many different living conditions. In the lower grades of life, in plant and tree life, there's no system for sexual intercourse. In the upper grades, in the life of birds and bees, there is sex. But the insects and animals do not know how to actually enjoy sex life. In the human form of life, however, there is full knowledge of how to enjoy sex. Indeed, there are many so-called philosophers who give directions on how to enjoy sex life. There's even a science called Kama Shastra, which is the science of sex. In human life, there are also such divisions as brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. There's no sex life except in the grihastha, or householder, ashram. Brahmachari is not allowed any sex. A vanaprastha voluntarily refrains from sex, and the sannyasi is completely renounced. The karmis do not practice brahmacharya, vanaprastha, or sannyas life, for they're very much interested in grihastha life. In other words, a human being is very much materially inclined. Indeed, all living entities are materially inclined. They prefer grihastha life because there's a concession for sex. Karmis think the other statuses of life are worse than animal life, for the animals also have sex, whereas the brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi completely give up sex. Karmis, therefore, abhor these orders of spiritual life. Let's see. Give me one moment. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari. Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Hari Hari. Okay. Kam na tvaranyam ramaye, hi aratir gyam akovidam. You've come by good fortune, so how could I allow anyone but you to enjoy with me? Arati gyam. Others are arati gyam. Rati means sex enjoyment. Others don't know about sex enjoyment. They're not expert. Kovida means expert. So the implication is you're an expert in sex enjoyment. You're the knower of what's what in sex. So you're the man. Who but you? Others are asamparaya, without knowledge of the next life, without knowledge of this life, avastana vidam. They don't know how to enjoy. We heard that earlier. Sannyasis, what do they know? Just like who was it? Devamarana Maharaj was saying that with his friends, he was a student at Yale, and they had this sort of conceit that what do they know? What do other people know? We know. We're getting it. They were seeing a television show with the Hare Krishnas. What do they know? They're singing and dancing, but if they came to our parties, then we'd really teach them how to enjoy. So the girl is saying, yes, you're the expert in sex. You're the others are foolish. They don't know how to enjoy. But you've come by good fortune, so we can have sex enjoyment. The lower animals, the trees and plants, they don't have sex at all. And the lower animals have it, but not the way we do. We've got a whole science of sex, Kama Shastra. We have all sorts of arrangements. We have industries dedicated to enhancing sex. We can make all sorts of arrangements. In one sense, this is all a lie. Sex is sex. The mosquito and the human being are getting the same enjoyment. What is the difference? The human being, Prabhupada said, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Basically, the pleasure is the same in all the different species of life. But human beings are thinking, no, our eating is special, our sleeping is special, our sex is special. But eating is eating, sex is sex. So it's something of a lie here. We have special prerogative to enjoy sex like no one else. The Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, looking for a husband, I now see you who have arrived suddenly. I will not look any further. Her intelligence follows dharma, since it is rajas mixed with a little sattva. So at least there's that much from her, that, all right, you come and enjoy with me and we'll leave it at that. I won't be playing the field anymore, or I won't be playing the field at all. Now we've found one another, we can stop here. She criticizes persons covered by intelligence, which is predominantly in tamas and sattva. In five verses, yes. If one is born as a tree, one is completely ignorant of sexual enjoyment. Adati gyam. If one is born an animal, no one can enjoy sex, it's still without skill. akovida. Though as Brahmins and Vaishyas one can enjoy sex with skill, one has no experience of battle, asamparaya. One is without courage. If one is a kshatriya, one has courage, but he has no knowledge of what will happen tomorrow or the next day or after death. Therefore, he's without dharma, like an animal. There's one answer to the question why Arindama, killer of enemies, means you're a kshatriya, you have courage. So there'll be a better standard of enjoyment here, especially sex enjoyment. Hare Krishna.
Naveen Prabhu.
There's a comment.
Yeah, I saw Naveen Prabhu's hand first.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry, just Mukunda using his hand again. This, pardon me if this is kind of a silly question, but my understanding was that those who are non-devotees but concerned about and following the laws of karma, so like strict karmis, real karmis, um, formal karmis or whatever, they would also follow brahmacharya, vanaprastha, sannyas. And so in this case, so my impression was that in this case, we're using the purport, we're using the word karmis in like a common way, meaning just non-devotees interested in enjoying in enjoyment. But I just want to make sure, am I incorrect about that? Oh, here when we're saying that karmis don't follow brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyas, are we just using it to refer to like in an informal way, karmis, just enjoyers and not strict karma followers?
Say that because the true karmis, as you said, they follow the varnashram system.
Okay. That's all.
Would someone else like to read? Would you like to read?
Sure. Maybe Rasananda, go ahead, and then I'll read.
Yeah, comment from Saraswati. Actually, I saw a car bumper sticker which said, "Those of you who think you know everything are annoying those of us who do." There is irony in that.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Dharmo hyatartha kamo cha prajanando mritam yashaha loka vishoka viraja yana kevalino viduhu. The woman continued, in this material world, a householder's life brings all kinds of happiness in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and the begetting of children, sons and grandsons. After that, one may desire liberation as well as material reputation. The householder can appreciate the results of sacrifices, which enable him to gain promotion to superior planetary systems. All this material happiness is practically unknown to the transcendentalists. They cannot even imagine such happiness. Purport. According to Vedic instructions, there are two paths for human activities. One is called Pravritti Marga, and the other is called Nivritti Marga. The basic principle for either of these paths is religious life. In animal life, there is only Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga means sense enjoyment, and Nivritti Marga means spiritual advancement. In the life of animals and demons, there is no conception of Nivritti Marga, nor is there any actual conception of Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga maintains that even though one has the propensity for sense gratification, he can gratify his senses according to the directions of the Vedic injunctions. For example, everyone has the propensity for sex life, but in demoniac civilization, sex is enjoyed without restriction. According to Vedic culture, sex is enjoyed under Vedic instructions. Thus, the Vedas give direction to civilized human beings to enable them to satisfy their propensities for sense gratification. In the Nivritti Marga, however, on the path of transcendental realization, sex is completely forbidden. These social orders are divided into 4 parts: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. And only in the householder life can the pravritti marga be encouraged or accepted according to Vedic instructions. In the orders of brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa, there are no facilities for sex. In this verse, the woman is advocating pravritti marga only, and is discouraging the path of nivritti marga. She clearly says that the yatis, the transcendentalists, who are concerned only with spiritual life, kaivalya, cannot imagine the happiness of pravritti marga. In other words, the man who follows the Vedic principles enjoys the materialistic way of life, not only by becoming happy in this life, but also in the next life by being promoted to the heavenly planets. In this life, such a person gets all kind of material opulences, such as sons and grandsons, because he is always engaged in various religious functions. The material distresses are birth, old age, disease, and death, but those who are interested in pravritti marga hold various religious functions at the time of birth, old age, disease, and death. Without caring for the distresses of birth, old age, disease, and death, they are addicted to performing the special functions according to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies.
And we can pause there. The dharma he atrartha kamo cha prajanando mata yashaha. All of these advantages are there. It's like householder life, come on. It's like shouting almost, or, advertising. Householder life is so good. You're really going to be happy here. There'll be dharma, and there'll be artha, and there'll be kama, sense gratification. And prajananda. Prajananda has 2 meanings. One is the happiness of having praja, or offspring. And another meaning is the pleasure of begetting offspring. So you'll get double happiness here. First, you'll get to have sex, and then you'll have the children who come from sex. So that will be very nice, and you'll be able to perform sacrifices and get the results of sacrifice, and reach loka vishoka viraja, the heavenly planets where there's no lamentation and no disease. Na kevalina iduhu, the transcendentalists just don't have no clue about the kind of happiness. Otherwise, why would they take the transcendental life? It must mean that they just don't get it. They don't realize how much happiness is here. She doesn't mention liberation, although it's Prabhupada includes it in the purport, but in the Sanskrit, there's no direct mention of liberation. You'll get sense gratification. You'll get dharma, artha, and kama. And in the next life, you'll go to the heavenly planets where there's no lamentation, where there's no contamination. Of course, this is, again, sort of hype. we read in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita that Indra was glorified in that way, as living eternally in the heavenly planets and enjoying sense gratification at an exalted level, living forever. But then when he's told that by Nard, oh, Nard says, oh, you live forever with no fear, no lamentation. And Indra says, no, you don't know. We have so many anxieties, even here on the heavenly planets. The demons are always threatening to take over, and there's so many troubles. So again, she's pumping up the benefits of material life. Prabhupada mentions here Pravritti Marg and Nivritti Marg. These are two classic categories. Pravrittis sarvabhutanam nivrittis tu mahapalam. Manu Samhita, I think, said that every living being is after pravritti, or the path of enjoyment, but one gets the greater result by nivritti marg, the path of detachment. Okay. You want to continue?
There's something in the chat. Saraswati Master writes, I don't understand how observing religious ceremony of birth/name giving and offering of pinda and offering of pinda for shrud be pravritti marg. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed shrud in Gaya.
Yes, this is Pravritti Marg. Pravritti Marg means the house, the life of Dharmartha Kama Moksha, the life of systematic enjoyment. Unless one wants to enjoy, why does one take up householder life? The better to take up nivritti, the life of abstinence. But when we take up householder life, then we have various religious duties. We have to give charity. We have to perform various ceremonies. Lord Chaitanya performed these in his role as a householder. He also went to Gaya to make, not Gaya, to what's now Bangladesh, to make money. Now I'm a married man, I need to get some money. So he opened a school with the object of getting some money, because you need to do that. And Nivritti Marg, the path of renunciation, not needed at all. But if you're going to be a family man, then you have to work, you have to have a house, you have to have all this. So this is Pravritti Marg. Of course, the devotees, even while supposedly on the Pravritti Marg, can dedicate themselves to the service of Krishna, and then their position is transcendental. Lord Chaitanya, and he's the personality of Godhead. Krishna is the personality of Godhead. He appeared to be on Pravritti Marg, marrying not only one wife, but 16,000. But they're transcendental. Is that okay? All right. Let's see.
It's time for kirtan.
Yeah, should we try to finish the purport, or should we leave it till next time? I guess we can leave it till next time. All right.
Mukunda Charan Prabhu and Naveen Prabhu, are you available to lead kirtan?
Yeah. Yeah, I can lead in response if I want to move around. Is it okay if I sing the morning tune, even though it's not the morning for you all?
It's morning for me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Purnamansa Parivrajak Stotra Satshri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mani Ki Jai Chamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hande.
Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakti.
Jai.
Jai.
Haribo.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Shaya.